What's going on, everybody? It's TheNidien, and welcome to Military Monday, episode number 3. My first episode, I went over the trap that you can get yourself stuck in with the recruiters and not to let yourself get worn down by them. The second one, I went through a little bit of what to expect in boot camp. I know I flew through it. So the third one I'm going to go through is what to expect after you get out of boot camp. So you survived the gas chamber from hell. Oh, and by the way, the gas chamber at boot camp is nothing like the gas chambers you're going to go through once a year. You can barely see the CS gas in all the gas chambers I've done throughout the years. But the one in boot camp, the smoke is so thick that you can barely see your hand. They do it on purpose. They bring it to the extremes. I wanted to clear that up a little bit. So you got out of boot camp. You survived the onslaught. You survived the mental breakdown. You're a lean, mean fighting machine now and all that good shit. What's going to happen now? You're done with boot camp. You graduated. Well, you're going to get to go home for 10 days. Unfortunately, you know, it happens. I'm just going to straight up and tell you the truth. Some of you probably aren't going to go back to your girlfriends. Some of you are probably going to go back to your girlfriends that have been cheating on you and you don't know about it. That's not all women. I'm not saying it is, but it happens, and so be ready for it. And I'm just letting you know it's not that big of a deal. It happened to me. It's not that big of a deal. When you're gonna get out of boot camp, there's gonna be a lot of women that are gonna have a whole new outlook on you, and you're gonna have your pickings. Trust me, there's gonna be 20 more where that dirty bitch came from, and you're not gonna worry about it. Another thing, like I said shortly in my last video, do not go back home and let your parents shove, you know, food down your throat and your grandma bring you pie after pie after pie, and be that guy that gains 30 or 40 pounds that you lost in boot camp back in 10 days. It's possible. Trust me. I've seen it happen. I've watched a kid actually, on his 10 days, he came back 50 pounds heavier than when he left boot camp. It was almost disgusting. And it's a shame, too, because now he was in a worse situation than he was when he was in boot camp. There's not going to be as much PT, but there's going to be some. And you're going to do a lot of marching and all this other stuff. So you still have to be physically fit. It's not like you're off the ropes now, you know. You still got to carry around a lot of weight on your back, because I think a combat load is roughly 120 pounds. They slimmed that down now with the newer packs and all this stuff that we got right before I got out and all this, but it's still a lot of weight, and you have to be ready to be able to carry that. It's no joke. I'm telling you straight up. It's heavy, and you walk 12, 15, 16 miles at a time, and sometimes throughout infantry school. Okay, so if you're an infantry guy, you're going to go to infantry school for 30 days. And then if you have a specialty such as an 0331, 0341, 0351, machine gunner, mortarman, rocketeer, whatever you want to call them, you're going to have an extra 2 weeks after those 30 days. If you have an admin job or anything outside of infantry school, you're going to MCT, which I believe is 17 days, and then you go on to your specific MOS school. Somewhere throughout the United States of America, could be anywhere. I don't know anything about that side of the fence. But what I do know is you're going to be stuck there if you're an infantryman for 30 days. You're going to go through basic training, like basic rifle training. Basically everything you learned in boot camp, such as how to low crawl, do this, do that, is all wrong. So they'll teach you the right ways on how to do it. You know, you go through stupid stuff like how to apply camouflage the right way. You could do a lot of map navigational courses, and the unfortunate thing is when I went through there, when we were in North Carolina, that was right after the hurricane hit, so it was a complete disaster. A lot of kids got really messed up, falling in ditches, falling in, I remember the one puddle that I fell in, it looked like a puddle. It was literally at the edge. It was only about 1/4 of an inch deep. I took one step and went up over my head in about an 8-foot ditch of water. And that, you know, it's not like I can't swim or anything, but the scary part about North Carolina is they have a lot, I mean a shitload of poisonous animals. There's poisonous snakes, poisonous spiders, fucking shit everywhere that could run in and can really fuck you up in a heartbeat. They got the brown recluses, so beware of them. They got just about anything you can imagine. A lot of rattlesnakes, copperheads, yada, yada, yada. So you got to be really, really, really careful running around in the woods, especially at night. It's no joke. You get bit by something that can really screw you up. I've seen kids get bit in the stomach by a brown recluse. He lost half his stomach because it, rotted his stomach away. I've seen a kid get bit in the top of the head. It looked like he had a bowling ball growing off the top of his head. It's not something to fuck around with. So what I suggest, your first thing you should do when you get there and you go there, you're going to have a week where you're just kind of sitting around waiting for, everybody to kind of get there. It's kind of annoying, to be completely honest. And you just basically sit around and bullshit all day long. It makes for some really, really long days if you happen to have to wait. But one thing I suggest, you get a lot of time, you can go down to the store. Pick up metal boot bands. Now, the ones in boot camp are the little braided boot camp things. They stretch out real easy. They get really frayed, but they're really easy. Bugs can get up underneath there in a hurry. And if you get into a group of chiggers, you're fucked. Trust me, it's not pretty. I didn't have it happen to me, but I've seen it, and it just doesn't look right. So go get yourself some metal boot bands. They're a lot better. They're cheap. There's nothing crazy. Also, go pick up some chigger spray. They're going to have it. It's in a little red bottle. Now, the stuff is potent as hell. Don't get it on any mucous membranes like I did on accident. I got it on my lips. My lips went numb for almost 2 days. I literally thought I was never going to be able to feel my lips again. Keep it away from your eyes. For a better example of how potent this shit is, I had a plastic mat protractor in my bag. The bottle of chigger spray broke open and spilled out in my bag. It literally dissolved the protractor. The only thing I had left was a little corner of it. The rest of it was dissolved into the spray. It's really potent shit, but it works and it's cheap. So fair warning. So I suggest you get that because it doesn't only work. It works for ticks and everything else. You'll never have a bug come within fucking 30 feet of you. So all you got to do is worry about the spiders and the snakes. And other than that, all those little bugs can kiss your ass. So you're going to go through there, and now, like I said in the beginning, if your girl leaves, you trust me on this. Trust me on this when I say this. You're going to have 50 more lining up where that came from now that you're a Marine. It's one of those things. Oh, another thing you got to be very careful about when you go home. Guys are going to want to fight you just because you're a Marine. They want to be that guy that beat up the Marine. Don't give them the time of day. Smile and know that you could put them down like a wounded animal in less than 5 seconds. And let it be. Do not get yourself in trouble by beating these guys up or whatever. It's not worth it, trust me. I can't emphasize that enough. Just let them think that, just let them have their glory and think that they're the hot shit and just walk away and be done with it. You got 10 days and you don't got to deal with their ass no more. So that be that. But back to infantry school. So you're going to do that. There's going to be, like I said, a lot of marching, a lot of different really cool exercises that you're going to get to do. And it's a lot more relaxed in boot camp. So it's nothing mentally, frustrating, nothing too physically frustrating. If you're an 0331 or 0341, you're going to have to carry around your specialty weapons. I'm going to let you know now, if you got to carry around the Mark 80 because of your sergeant being a dick, the thing weighs like 80 pounds. It's one piece, you're fucked. You're going to have to switch it off like every 10 minutes to the guy down the line. And it's just a massive piece of pain in the ass, and it belongs on a Humvee. It's carried around on a Humvee, but in infantry school they'll make you carry it around if the guy's having a bad day. It's just the way it is. Just deal with it and fucking, whatever. The 50 cal can be broken down in 3 spots, so it's not that heavy, but the base of it's pretty damn heavy, the main part of the gun. So you're going to want to help your buddy out, or, at least if you're that guy that's got to carry it, at least hope that somebody can help you carry that. As far as machine gunner goes, the worst job that there is the ammo man. You got to carry, it sucks. You got to carry the ammo bag, you got to carry ammo, you got to carry the extra barrels and all this other shit, not to mention your M16 and all this other crap. The worst job of a machine gunner is by far the ammo man, hands down. And unfortunately, as the lower rank guy, you're going to be the ammo man. So just get used to it. Do your thing. As far as regular infantry goes, all you got to do is worry about your M16 and carrying a little bit of ammo around and some grenades if you're the grenadier and all this other stuff. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too flashy. Pretty simple. You don't got to worry about a 240 Golf hanging off your sides while you're trying to navigate through woods and swamps and all that, running in every tree and getting stuck on a branch every 2 seconds. So that's that. But what I want to suggest is when you're in, don't spend all your money when you get home. Save some money for boot camp, because down there, there's literally a strip club and a tattoo parlor every probably mile, one per mile, just right down the line. So if you're a tattoo guy and you want to get a tattoo, I highly suggest you get a tattoo down there while you can. A tattoo that would cost me back home here $400, $500, $600 cost me about $45 down in infantry school. So if you want to get a tattoo, get it there. They're cheap, they're really good, there's a lot of competition. Search around, do your research, and go from there. As far as strip clubs go, the strip club right across the base was, I think, called La Mirage or some crazy shit. Best strip club there was by far. Just for a little FYI for you guys out there, they had a lot of Playboy models and all this other stuff that come in, and then you can buy their Playboy and get it autographed and all this, you know, dumb little shit. But that was probably the best, and it's right across the base, so you can just walk over, you know, do your thing over there, and then come back and walk back. Nothing crazy. There's a lot of clubs around. I suggest if you're under 21, do not go drinking at the clubs and thinking you're some kind of hot shot, because they do random MP raids, and it happened to probably 20 or 30 guys in my platoon got busted down at the MP raid for underage drinking, and it's not pretty. I'm not exactly sure what happened to them all. I know a couple of them ended up, you know, going to the brink for a little bit. It wasn't a good situation, so don't be that guy. Stay out of the clubs. Well, you can go to the clubs, but be very careful, because one thing that you're going to find is the girls around there are either one, married to a guy in the military that's off overseas, two, or they're looking for a baby's daddy that has a solid paycheck. And then you're going to notice that a lot of the guys around there are military, that aren't in the military, are military haters. So you go in groups, stick with friends. There's gang banging that goes on down there, and you don't want to be that guy that gets gang banged. And we almost had a couple kids get killed down there due to that. It's not pretty, so stick into your groups, stick together. Everything they're going to tell you all this, and they're not bullshitting you just to scare you guys. They're telling you this because it's rightfully justified. And like I said, stay away from the women as much as you possibly can. I know some of you guys are horn dogs and just can't possibly do it. But I'm telling you, nothing good can come out of it. Get out of there, do your 30 days, go on to your base station, and find yourself a decent girl. Because you're going to run into nothing but problems there. So that's about it. And the climate down there, depending on when you go, I went in October, November, September. It gets really cold in the mornings, and then it's really nice during the day. And then really cold in the morning, really nice during the day. It's kind of nice, and when I'm talking cold, I'm talking in the 30s, upper 30s, lower 40s for some of you that may not be used to it. It does get really cold. But overall, infantry school is a good experience. For those of you, after you do your infantry school and you have to do your 2 weeks of specialty training, and if anybody has any questions on like the Mark 80, the 240 Golf, the Mark 80 is an automatic grenade launcher for those you don't know, and the M60 or the M9 pistol, feel free to PM me. I can, you know, answer your questions as much as possible. I worked with those weapons a lot. They were my 4 favorite girlfriends for 8 years, so that's that. But yeah, when you're done, now if you're in the reserves after your days are up, you're going to go home. Now you're going to get shit on a lot by a lot of the guys that were active duty, shit on all the reserve guys quite a bit throughout the thing. But then when it was all said and done and it was over with, most of those guys that were shitting on all over the reserve guys were the ones whining that they wanted to go home. So take it for what it's worth. Those guys, you get to go home when you're in the reserves, and other than that, then you're gonna get suited up and go directly to your duty station. Now you can go many places. We had a couple kids go to Cuba. We had 2 kids go to Hawaii, which I wish I was one of them. But for the most part, some of you may fly out to California, but for the most part, the majority of everybody's going to go right to Camp Lejeune. So it's nothing too crazy, and then you go on from there, and it's, you know, it becomes your job. You know, some of you got to have like a 9-to-5 job, 8-to-5 job, 5-to-5, depending on what it is. Infantry guys it's pretty much a 24/7 thing, 5 days a week. Some days you may get liberty, some days you may not. It's one of those things of being an infantry. This day and age, I would suggest that you don't go in infantry unless you're like one of those guys that just have to do infantry for some reason. But that's up to you. That's not my call. So that's pretty much what to expect when it comes to infantry school, guys. It's nothing physical. It's nothing mental. It's just learning your techniques, and basically everything you learned in boot camp you can forget about because they taught you completely wrong. So that's that, guys. As always, have a great day. Oh, and submit your videos for Subscriber Friday. I haven't got any videos. If you guys want a video featured on my channel, just throw it to me in a PM, and it'll go up Friday, all day Friday, and most of Saturday. Another thing real quick, one of my friends named Gould started up a new channel, so I'll put a link in the description for him. Go show him some love. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to like the content he's got up. So go check him out, and if you stop by, tell him I sent you and say what's up. Other than that, guys, like I said, have a great day. Peace.